Hello everyone, how you doing today? It's Bob Hamill. We're back at my house. You can see, look outside, it's snowing again. Another one of those 2 to 3 inch days here in Wilmington. So when it snows like this, you look outside, kind of makes me want to have something nice and toasty and cozy and comfy for dinner. And so we thought about it. Didn't really plan it this way, but it just seems to work out. I'm going to make a chicken pot pie, and we're going to use some puff pastry. Going to put it, after we make all the ingredients, put it on top of the bowl, egg wash it, throw it in the oven, and let it cook up. And it's going to be tonight's dinner. So anyways, what are my ingredients? Traditional ingredients for a chicken pot pie. Usually the triumvirate of celery, carrot, onion. In this case, I'm using leeks because it gives it a little bit different flavor than a white onion. Sometimes they put in pearl onions, but I don't really like pearl onions, so I'm throwing them out of the recipe. We got some frozen peas in here, some roasted garlic. We're gonna add some fresh basil when we put it in the oven to bake it, just to add a little bit of that floral flavor to the sauce. And we've got some butter and flour for a roux. That's going to be the basis of our chicken's gravy. So what are we going to do first? Well, I'm going to have to roll this out. This is the puff pastry because I got to get two squares that are a little bit bigger than this. So because it's going to have to overhang a little bit. So let's see what we can do here. See if I can roll this out. Oh yeah, how about that? You don't want to roll it out too much, but you know, it's puff pastry, so it will rise to the occasion. No pun intended. Actually, a pun was intended. So let's get this just a little bit farther out. You don't want to do it too much. That should be good. All right, so I'm going to take this. It's going to be about 2 inches around, so that should give me about 2 inches. We'll cut it. Well, almost made it right there. Take this piece off. I'm going to put it down here, and we're going to refrigerate that. Now, let's take this piece. Like this, all right? Turn it, kind of press it in. So we're going to have to roll this out again. There we go. I should be able to get this to the right size. Oh yeah, perfect. Well, I guess I'll cut just a bit off so that we can be consistent. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to put these in the refrigerator so that they don't dry out. Okay, I'm going to get my oven going at 425 degrees because after we saute everything, we're going to be putting them in the bowls and baking them with the puff pastry. So let's get this going. I've got a recipe here, and the recipe says to use butter to saute the vegetables. I'm going to use a little bit of oil just to save the butter because I'm going to basically want the butter for the roux. So let's get this going. You want to get your pan coated pretty evenly. Like that. Spread it out a little. There we go. Okay, so what are we going to cook first? I'm going to cook my leeks first, then the carrots and the celery. Peas will go in last. They actually don't even need to be cooked because they're frozen, or they were frozen. So one of the keys to doing this is to have everything about the same size so that they cook pretty much evenly. So let's go with that. I'm going to increase the heat just a little and bring it down in a bit. You just hear it beginning to sizzle. Let's hit the heat a little bit higher. This should be good tonight because this is nasty weather out there. It's going to start sleeting in a bit, I think, according to the weather reports. So we're not going to be traveling anywhere tonight. This should be a nice meal. Okay, now that that's sizzling a little, I want to get my carrots in there, get my celery. And I'm going to season this with just a little hit of black pepper. The recipe calls for white pepper, but black pepper, white pepper, it's pretty much the same product. One's just white, one's just black. So let's let this sizzle for a bit. I'm going to need a bowl. So we're going to let this sizzle for a few minutes and come back to it. See you in a minute. Okay, I added just a little bit of oil to the pan because I didn't want it to. I wanted to have a little bit more oil in there, and I think I'm going to have to hit the fan for a second. Okay, this is looking good. We don't really need to cook it all the way through because it's going to bake in the oven for a while, but you just want to get some of that chew out of the vegetables, and they're browning up nicely, so that browning gives you the caramelization. Caramelization gives you flavor. Okay, let's do that. Let's take this and throw it in here. And get a little bit more of the oil. Now we're going to saute the chicken. Again, the chicken doesn't have to be cooked all the way through, but you're going to want to get a good bit of cook on it. All the pieces are pretty much same size. A little more black pepper. Got to have that good seasoning. Let that sit for a second. And nothing like watching chicken cook. We'll be back in a second. Okay, chicken is almost ready. It's looking pretty good. It's not cooked all the way through because I don't want it to dry out. So I'm going to pull it off the heat, throw it in with the vegetables, and of course it's going to cook a little bit longer while it's losing temperature. Okay, so let's get a look at our recipe. And okay, I've done all that. Yep. Okay. I'm going to cut the temperature down a little. Add in the butter. Oops. Add the butter in here. We got some chicken bits in there too. That's okay. That's going to flavor the sauce. You want to get some of those bits up. Okay, let's start adding our flour. So I haven't made a roux in a while. Let's hope this comes out. It looks like it's coming out. With a roux, you have to let it cook for a bit. I'm going to cut the temperature down because I don't want to burn it. You need to let a roux cook for a few minutes because you want to get the flavor of the flour out, because it basically just acts as a thickening agent, right? So it's looking pretty good if I remember my roux. If I remember, I did a show before and we talked about all the different kinds of roux, how as it cooks, it gets darker and darker. And this is what we would call a blonde roux. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit of cream. You could use milk. You can use, technically that's half and half. Don't want that in there. But this will thicken up a bit, I hope. It is thickening, and we're going to add some more. All right, so we want this to basically start to thicken. And it looks like it's doing that. Oh yeah, it's beginning to make a sauce, which is good. Look at how that's coming together. Well, it's going to be a good gravy, right? Yeah, it's looking good. Okay. I'm going to put these vegetables all back in with the chicken. I'm going to increase the temperature because we're going to add some stock to this now. This is chicken stock. Hopefully that will start to make a nice little sauce. All right, that's wonders of science. The things that you can do with heat and ingredients. It's looking pretty good. I may add a little bit more chicken stock to it just to give it a little bit of depth. Because I got 2 bowls to fill. Okay. How does that happen every time? I don't get, there we go. Okay. Let's just do a quick taste. Come up to temperature some more. Yeah. It's got that nice chickeny flavor. You got the depth of the sauce. The vegetables, they will be coming through. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, let's add just a touch more of this. I don't think we need any more cream. All right, that's looking pretty darn good. Okay, while this is cooking for a little bit longer, bring it up. I'm going to bring it up to medium. It'll start to boil, which is what we want. Actually, I'm going to go a little above medium. Here we go. We're getting a simmer. I think we're going to need just a touch more of this. And it's really not diluting the sauce, because with the flour, it'll give off more of its starch as the stock hits it, and it'll flavor. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Let's get the oven going. 425 degrees. We want to pre-cook it. Yeah, it's looking... What do you think? Looking good? Looking good. Okay. Have I got all this right? Yep, I've got all this right. Okay. I don't need that anymore. Let this come up to a little more of a... It's gonna come... I don't really want it to boil. I want it to simmer, because I think that a boil is just going to overcook everything. And it is going to be going in the oven, so it's going to bake for about 25 minutes with the puff pastry on top of it. So what can we do while this is doing this? Well, I'm going to get my egg wash ready. Egg wash is just basically an egg. That you whip. And what this does is, this is what we put on the puff pastry for two reasons. One, we're going to take the bowl and we're going to egg wash all the way around it, so that when we press the puff pastry onto it, it will adhere and it'll stick there. And then we're going to brush the top of it too, so it gets that nice dark brown color. You know, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's leave that for a second. Let's check this out. Oh, this is looking good. Yep. I'm going to eyeball this. I'm going to add just a touch more stock. There we go. Yeah, that's looking pretty enticing. What do you think? Oh yeah, almost forgot the peas. What's a chicken pot pie without peas? It would be heresy, I think. All right, we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to let this come down to temperature just a little. I'm going to put it down just a hit below medium. And I'm going to get the puff pastry out. We're going to start assembling. Back in a minute. Try. Give it a try. Oh, yeah. That's...
All the flavors are coming together.
All the flavors are all coming together. This
all
is...
of that?
Yeah, because guess what? It's all about the flavors, right? Okay, I'm going to take that off the heat in a moment. Clean up. And be right back. Alrighty, so I've got my chicken pot pie ingredients all put together. Now we just got to get them in the bowls, get the puff pastry on top, get the sides all adhered. Oh, I've been forgetting things here today. My basil. A little fresh herb is always a good thing. So let's take this here. Just give it a quick chop. Doesn't need much. Oh, you can smell it. That licorice flavor. It's just, 40 million Italians all can't be wrong. Gonna get that in there. Just let it, oh yeah. That's phenomenal. That's gonna be so good. All right, let's get our bowls. Let's get our chicken pot pie stuff. Fill this. No, I guess, you know what we should do first? Before we fill them, let's wash them, right? Get the egg wash on it. You don't have to be too neat. We're not in a cooking competition. Okay, that's good. All right, let's get this in. You could, some recipes call for potatoes in this. You could do it if you want. Look at that, huh? I think I got my ingredients, my proportions pretty good. Okay. Here we go. That's looking pretty darn good, and that gets right in there too. All right, so let's put this here, put this bad boy here. Get our made this one maybe a little too big, but who cares? Just going to press it together. There's a little trick. If you want puff pastry to stick together, give it a little egg wash. That'll make it stick. Okay, we need to do the tops and do the sides. If you like to paint, this is a fun thing to do. Okay, look at that. That's going to be, it's a little messy, but boy, is it going to be good. Okay, let's get this bad boy up here, just like that. And don't forget, you need to make a slit in the top, because if you don't, it blows up. Nothing worse than a chicken pot pie blow up, or so I've been told. I want to press it in, just make sure that it sticks there. If it doesn't, then don't worry about it. That'll fold over. Okay, let's take our egg wash and complete the process. Is it messy? Yeah. Is it worth it? Hell yeah. There we go. Okay, slit in the top. Drop it down. Push them over. And I'm just going to see if I can utilize this other piece of puff pastry, the excess, for something. Here we go. All right. Well, I've made a proper mess. So let's get this in the oven. You want your rack to be center. Here we go. Okay, we got 25 minutes. So I'm going to check it in about 10 minutes and we'll see how it looks, but I think we're going to be okay. See you in a few minutes. Okay, it's been almost 10 minutes. I'm just curious. I want to see what it looks like. Oh my God, it's looking good. This is going to be nice. For everybody to take a look at this. Here we go. Check this out. This is a chicken pot pie. I think it's done. I'm not going to cook this anymore. This looks like it's just about ready for serving. So let's turn off everything. Close it up. Gonna let that cool off and then I'll reheat it for dinner tonight. And let's see, let's just hit it with a little bit of black pepper on top, just because it's pretty. All right, everyone, I think that just about wraps it up for today. Thanks for coming. Remember, in our house here in Wilmington, 209 Wildwood Street, it's all about the flavors. You have a good time, and we'll see you again. See you next time. Take care.